Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. Now pray for the soul of this explorer. It's time for 31 Days of Horror.
Hello again, welcome back to the 31 Days of Horror, and today we're going to talk about the 2004 Thai supernatural horror, Shutter. The plot to this film revolves around young photographer Ton, who alongside his girlfriend Jane, accidentally run over a woman who they leave to die on the roadside. Soon after this incident, Ton notices a strange ghostly apparition appear on the negatives on his recently developed photographs. I'd never heard of this film before, but Curly Girl at the Movies had recommended this to me and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It is a terrific ghost story and one that really was full of surprises. I really got taken away with the lead character Ton. I thought he was, at the very beginning of the film, where you see how callous he was to just leave this woman to die on the roadside. Straight away, you're not on this character's side. You're not on this character's side. So you're very much thinking, whatever comes to this character, he deserves what's coming to him. The thing that was really interesting was the arc that this character goes through. He really flip-flops in your mind. He flip-flops from being a character you despise to a character that you pity and you start to support in some way, and then right back to being a character that you despise again. I really loved this character. I thought the actor that played the main actor, Ananda Everingham, he was absolutely fantastic. What a great actor he is. I was really smitten by his performance as this quite pathetic character who really, it was through his performance that the spooky scenes really came to life, I felt. I've always been quite interested in ghost photography. I used to read the Fortean Times many years ago, which is, a bit silly in places, but I love seeing these great Victorian photographs where they've got ectoplasm coming out of their mouths and all these weird apparitions that appear at dinner parties and things like that. And this movie really leaned towards the mystique of those famous ghost photographs, to the point where they actually showed some of the most famous ones on screen in it, and at the very end of the film they had a disclaimer where they sort of paid tribute to the ghost photographs. And I really admired that. I really admired how it really went into the history of this, the history of the ghost photographs, and how it represented it very accurately. I know that most of these, I'm a skeptic. I don't necessarily believe what I'm seeing when I see a lot of these ghost photographs, but I think that this film represented that aspect of popular culture really well. So I did study photography, over 20 years ago, and I always found the darkroom quite a creepy place. When you were in college and you were in that darkroom by yourself, you wouldn't want to be in there for too long. I'm not scared of the dark or anything like that, but there's something about the darkroom with the little red light bulb that just freaked me out to be left alone in the place. It just felt like a kind of house of horrors, and this movie had represented that as well. I really enjoyed the sort of photography aspect to this movie, and I felt it got it right on the nose. It was quite strange that this came out in 2004 when, as I recall, digital photography was pretty much on its way. I don't recall anyone still using 35mm film to take a photograph in 2004, and in it there was Polaroid cameras and all that sort of stuff, the old Nikon cameras. It was really interesting to just think of, this sort of old school way of taking a picture as being something quite ghostly. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that medium being used to its full potential to make a really interesting ghost story. The thing is, I'm trying not to talk too heavily about what happens in this film. There are some really amazing moments. There are some really good scares. I wouldn't say the film was terrifying, but it was an excellent plot, and it wasn't just what it gave you. There is a mystery to this story that they unravel as it goes on, and it's interesting with the information that they remove from your knowledge. you know, we support this character, we follow this character Ton all the way through the story, whether we like him or not. He is our protagonist, and we start to identify with him a little bit more, and we start to kind of feel a little bit more empathy towards him. He's not the most likeable character in any movie, to be honest, but he is a very compelling character. And I think what this actor, Ananda Everingham, does with his eyes, he really does some terrific acting just with his eyes. He really puts in a really interesting, subtle performance that I was captivated by. I was absolutely captivated by. And you know what? I've never seen a film from Thailand before. Never in my life, as far as I know. I don't think I've seen a film from Thailand in my entire life. I don't think Kickboxer counts, you know, as a Thai movie. But this was a really good start. Really nice supernatural horror. Perfect, absolutely perfect for Halloween. I must warn you though, there is a moment of sexual violence in this film, and I'm always really off-put by scenes of sexual violence in any film, especially when it's just overlong. You know, with films like I Spit in Your Grave, Last House on the Left, I just see that as total exploitation. I don't really see the merit to those films, to be perfectly honest, but that's just me, right? I know some people swear blind that these are classics, these are masterpieces, and I will argue them into the ground, but there is a moment of sexual violence in this film that you know, I was a little bit off-put by, but it did serve the plot, and it wasn't overlong. It was more like a kind of just a brief moment in the movie, and it served the plot, it served the actual story and the character as well. It does have some really nice photography in it. You would expect that. A film about photography has some terrific cinematography. There are some nice camera angles, nice camera moves actually. There is a sequence where a character throws themselves off of a building, the camera just follows them right down, almost like, you know, quite, has a sort of element of vertigo to it. I love that. And there are some real shocking moments. And also, unlike it has a kind of similarity to The Ring again, right? And I would say that, I don't know if it's something to do with Asia, where they have this kind of obsession with, you know, putting the dead to rest. Where I remember there was a sequence in The Ring where they felt like, how do we stop this curse? We stop this curse by getting Sadako's corpse and putting her to rest. And there is an element of that in Shutter as well. So I'm not sure if this was inspired by the J-horror movement. I need to do a bit more research into it, but I'm just giving you my initial take on this film, and I found it very compelling. I thought it was a really good supernatural ghost story, and you know, it's good to see. I love a good ghost story. If you've probably watched my review of The Haunting, I love a good ghost story, and this is right up there. This is one I could watch again and again. Actually, it's definitely got a lot to it, especially that central performance. That central performance was magnificent. What a great actor this man is. If you've seen this film Shutter from 2004, leave us a little comment and we can chat about it. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you don't like the video, hit the I don't like button. If you want to subscribe to the video, hit the subscription button. If you don't want to subscribe to the video, don't do anything. And I'll see you tomorrow where we can talk about more horror films on 31 Days of Horror with me, Terence McGuana. Peace, love and rock and roll.